Hello YouTube, this is Southern Wolverine, and welcome this time to Rome 2 Total War. So we got a 1v1 with me and Comrade Drago here today. My army consists of my general and this Legatus unit, 2 units of auxiliary cavalry, and over in these woods my other 2 units of these cavalry, the Socii Equitae Extraordinarii, are hidden in an attempt to get a jump on Drago if his cavalry comes out to flank me. My main force consists of mixed infantry, mostly legionary cohorts. There are, I believe, 2 first cohorts mixed in here, as well as a couple of evocati cohorts. And I have 2 units of triarii for cavalry defense of my main body. And my skirmisher force consists of 3 units of these auxiliary Balearic slingers. And I can't see all of Drago's force at the moment because it's partially hidden in the trees. But what we can see so far is these units of citizen cavalry out in the open here. He has a couple units of Royal Peltas. I think he has 4 or 5 units of these Nubian bowmen, so he has significantly more slingers than I do. And his pike force is hidden right now in these trees, I believe. His general's this unit of Ptolemaic Cav, and he's got another unit of citizen cavalry way out to his right. So let's get Rome versus Egypt underway here.
In battle, men, bravery is a good quality for a soldier to have. But better yet is a sense of duty. Duty to his comrades, his officers, and to his people. Remember your duties.
Remember your duties.
Quick march!
Duty. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Dominate!
Alright, so I'm going to start off basically by just moving my infantry, my skirmishers and everything up onto this hill to basically dare Drago to come at me while I have a superior position. He is now advancing. It's not just 1 unit of cavalry here, there's 2 units of citizen cavalry. These guys are melee cavalry, but they're not super spectacular melee cavalry. So, especially if I can manage to isolate these 2, I can take them out, hopefully before help arrives. Meanwhile, on the other side, he's moving up his other 3 units of citizen cavalry. So he's running quite a cavalry recon in force here, and the rest of Drago's army is pulling back towards his own bit of hill and forest over here. So now that he's moving, you can see he has 4 units of these Hellenic Royal Guards. It's a very good pike unit. It'll be very difficult, even for Roman heavy infantry, to attack head on. Alright, so now here comes my cavalry attack. I got these citizen cav to face me. But here, out of the trees, come the Equites Extraordinarii to turn the fight. Even brought the Legatus over to join the fight. So with both numbers and quality going against these citizen cavalry, you can see they're losing pretty badly right now. That unit's already wavering even. Drago is responding with 2 of his other cavalry units, and I didn't realize at this point that he still had 1 unit hanging out over there. Now he's got them in this diamond formation, which I personally don't like, because you see this happens a lot. They get all kind of grouped up. Just a few of my horses totally mucked up his charge. He lost cohesion, and now I'm going to send out this 1 unit of Equites to the side, charge them back in, and we're going to basically surround these 2 units of cavalry. Now, while I was paying attention to micromanaging all of that, see, here comes Drago's other unit of cavalry, sneaking up on my infantry from this direction, and just slamming into these evocati here. I lost some of the impact of that charge. Actually, he might not have been intending to charge. He might have not have known they were there and moved right into him. But I still, at this point, have no idea this is even happening. So what he's doing now is he's bringing these citizen cav over. He's trying to hit my already weaker skirmish force. And meanwhile, the ongoing cav fight is definitely going in my direction. Although it's not without losses. A couple of these units are taking significant losses. This one in particular.
Riders at the double. Get ready! Engage!
Oh, you know what? This was an early replay, so this is our old friend, the replay glitch going on here. To give Drago his credit, in the real battle, he was able to get the citizen cav into these Balearic slingers and do a fair bit of damage to them. None of them routed, but they did take significant losses, and I had to use my cavalry and all my spearmen to drive them off, which is why you're seeing all this movement happening. Yeah, I forgot this replay was old enough that it still suffers from the replay glitch. And in fact, on that same note, this unit of cavalry should not have routed. And these two citizen cavalry, you're going to see them stand here for the rest of the battle, because in the real fight, they had routed. So, we'll make do with what we can. Hopefully the rest of this fight isn't glitched and will still work for us. Very annoying. I'm glad that more recent patches have fixed this.
At the double, in service to Rome.
Alright, so having damaged my skirmishers but lost his cavalry, now we've got a sort of disparity of forces between me and Drago. He definitely has the skirmisher advantage, and I definitely have the cavalry advantage. It's the only thing he's got left in terms of cavalry is his, hidden in here somewhere, is Ptolemaic cavalry general unit. He does have a hill, and he doesn't seem inclined to come down off of it. And he does have 5 archers to my 3 slingers. So what I'm going to try to do here is basically take advantage of the longer range of these slingers. They have 150 range. The archers I'm fighting against are 125. And I'm also going to have to use my cavalry to help in the skirmish battle. So we'll see how that works with that one unit routed that wasn't supposed to route. Should still be able to see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to fast forward here because we spent a little bit of a time. He's getting set up on that hill, and I'm reforming after that cavalry fight to try to bring my main body forward to engage him. Drago, we've played enough times that Drago does know my tendencies. I think he knew that if he sat up on that hill and waited for me, that I would come after him. I do have a tendency toward aggressive action. I prefer to call it decisive action. It'll either win me the battle or lose me the battle. And one way or the other, it's decisive. Alright, let's get this going. Alright, so now we're approaching missile range, so I'll bring it back to regular speed. So you can see he's drawn out his forces here. He's making a thick defensive line, 1 unit protecting the flank. And you can't see all of his archers at the moment because some of them are behind this hill and in the trees. So I have to give Drago a hard time here for a second. At this point, he told me that my cavalry was basically useless because his cavalry was gone and his pikes were drawn up in a defensive line, He told me my cavalry was useless. I strenuously disagreed with this, so my goal basically for the rest of this battle was to prove to him that cavalry is never ever useless. Okay, so now these cav units as my scouts have discovered the remainder of his force. So he's got a pretty good defensive position here, although I would have probably, if it were me, come up onto the top of this hill or just across the crest, because if I were to charge up and over this hill, these guys would be okay, but I would have a downhill advantage on these guys. He would have a chance to move up against me as I approached, so I'm not going to bust his chops too badly about that. I wonder if, I can't remember if he actually did this in the battle and had these guys facing backwards, or if it's our replay glitch friend again. But in any case, maybe he did do it on purpose because his Ptolemaic cav is facing the other way too. Oh, you know, maybe he did because he had the pikes guarding the rear lines of things. This might have been part of his cavalry is useless right now theory. Alright, so now it's time to bring out the slingers, and I'm going to do the standard tactic of taking all units and trying to focus them on one of his. So we're targeting right now this unit of Nubian bowmen. So you can see my range arc is long enough to get them, and these guys are going to be able to shoot back at me because I really should have been targeting this unit. So he's going to come forward to bring all of his archers into range, and I'm just going to move everybody back. And I'm going to run a fake cavalry attack with these to try to drive those skirmishers back. Just by threatening the cavalry assault, I'm able to get these guys to decide not to pursue, and then of course my slingers are just going to turn and start engaging these guys again. I think he just called my army lazy sons of whores. I'm pretty sure I'm insulted by that. So, yeah, here we go. Now we're re-engaging the slingers.
On me!
So these guys now are getting beat up quickly because they're not armored, so these slingstones are just messing them up. Alright, so now as I whittle down these skirmishers, if I can take enough of these guys out, I can regain the skirmishing advantage. Even though in the actual battle I had lost probably half my skirmishers to that one cavalry unit. So now he comes forward again, and I move backward again. And here comes my cavalry, just to force him back. And he's not going to let my cavalry get there, which I knew he wouldn't do. But I got what I wanted, which was to force these guys to stop following my slingers. I'm going to take some arrows into my cavalry, but they're well armored enough that they don't take any losses from that volley. And now you guessed it, the slingers are back. So once again he's trying to chase me down. See, now if he had cavalry left on the field, he's got his general I guess, but he doesn't want to risk his general. If he had cavalry left, I wouldn't be able to do this because he could use his cavalry, just like I'm using mine, to threaten his archers or threaten my slingers. And up here comes the cavalry strike again. And he's got to decide whether he's going to let me hit him or run away, and he's going to run away. See, so we're just trying to wear these skirmishers down. I'm going to let these he got these guys a little extra exposed, so I was going to go after him for a second, and then these Royal Peltas came out. Meanwhile, my main infantry body's staying all together, but I'm moving these Triarii out towards the flank. both to be a screen for the cavalry if I need them someplace safe to retreat to, and because they can push up the hill and get a flank. I don't really need them for cavalry defense anymore, so I can afford to use them a little more aggressively. See now, while I wasn't paying attention, he got his archers up here to shoot at my cavalry. I tried to run him down, then found this pike unit here, which was a good teamwork from him. He had that set up to try to draw my cav in. But I'll just pull them out of there. I lost a few to those archers, not too bad though. Alright, so you see now, most of his archer force is being lost at this point. So he's only got this one unit, I believe, left over here. He's got that one unit left in the trees. So if I can eliminate his slingers, then I can just shoot at his pikes and royal peltists with my missile troops until he can no longer stay on this hill and has to come down and get me. And when he does, I tie him, I hit his flanks with my infantry, and once I can cut into the side of a pike formation, these guys won't be able to last very long, even though these are quite good pike troops. So, without there being any enemy slingers or cavalry present, any enemy missile troops or cavalry present, my slingers can afford to be very aggressive now.
Run, curse you!
Just taunting him, basically. Oh, this might have been our friend the replay glitch too. I'm not sure how this actually played out. But in any case, he's now decided that he's lost too many slingers to continue this skirmishing, so he's just going to come down off the hill in force. He does have a slight downhill edge, although it's flattened out a little bit by the time you get to my main line. So you see I've stretched my infantry out in this one big, long, thick line now, in an attempt to, once his troops hit, to flank around them with whoever's unengaged and just surround his infantry and take them out that way. So these two royal peltists, despite being very dangerous units, are going to very quickly find themselves outnumbered.
At speed! Charge! And
He's going to gallantly charge downhill into my legionary cohort. See, they're already flanked. And the same thing is playing itself out on this side here as these units move to flank. And these units are going to face off with my triarii. The cavalry sweeping around behind them. Meanwhile, my other unit of triarii has come all the way across the battlefield to threaten his Ptolemaic cav. And these guys are going to try and hit the first cohort here, I believe, to try to bail out these Hellenic Royal Guards, who will also be fighting to their rear against this legionary cohort. So my triarii get a little strung out, and he's using the pikes to intercept them, so they don't get to his general. Again, pretty good use of the pikes, which aren't a terribly mobile unit. Of course, these guys now are in pretty serious trouble. Even though it says they're winning, these attacks in the rear are really going to wear them down quick. So we got just a series of isolated melees going on. I didn't get a great flank on these guys, but they're still taking losses against my far superior numbers. In this fight, I got in the rear of these pikes, but this is still sort of a draw at the moment. So it's time for a quick hammer and anvil, but that unit broke before I even got there. This might be another glitch in the replay, because I'm not sure why these guys would be running up here if that unit hadn't routed yet. Well, in any case. Alright, so you see, meanwhile, his attempt to get his general out, I was able to bring my auxiliary cavalry, which had been hanging out over here, to tie his general up and then get my spears in to fight him. So now he's pretty much trapped here, and he's going to start taking losses. You see he's losing, thanks in part to the influence of these triarii. And his last unit of archers is just going to shoot them in the back for a while.
Advance at speed!
So now, both of his Royal Pelters have routed. These guys are massively outnumbered
Right
over here.
forwards!
And is starting to lose his Hellenic Royal Guard units too.
Victor, advance!
Yeah!
To me! At speed! Quickly now! Pull back! Charge! Where do runners fight? This is not some children's game!
The Triarii are desperately trying to catch these guys. They're not sure where to run with all these cavalry around. Yeah, so sorry about the glitchy nature of that replay. Like I said, this was an older replay, and I didn't realize just how badly it was affected by that glitch. In any case, good game to Comrade Drago. Alright, now I realize it says close defeat. This is a result, unfortunately, of the replay glitch again. What had actually happened at the end here was his general did in fact get killed in this melee, which caused the morale penalty, of course, along the line for those few units that were left fighting at that time. Basically, those last units of Hellenic Guard routed after being surrounded by the troops over there, and it was actually a significant victory for me. So the cavalry, even though I didn't want them just charging into his infantry, were able to still play a very important part of the skirmish battle, as well as, of course, a scouting role, so I could figure out where these guys were hidden in the woods. So with that, this is Southern Wolverine signing off.